Hey there, you're watching Go Island, and today I'm talking to 3 of 4 desperados.
Aaron Visiev Financial's Go Island is brought to you by Aaron Visiev Financial.
Well, hello there. You are watching Go Island, coming to you today from the Roland Arts Center, where we are talking literature. And I have 3 lovely writers here today that are going to tell us about their most recent publication. And with me is the first of them, Margaret Grocott. How are you doing today?
Hi, thanks, Nancy.
Oh, thank you so much. Now, I teased this a little bit in the first opening and called you Desperates, and that's because you've written something called Desperate Writers.
Well, it came about because we met at a Elder College workshop for writers, and we realized that we really had to write, so we became desperate because it was something we needed to do.
And although we're talking today about a more recent publication, you did publish a book a few years ago.
Yes, actually 5 years ago we did, and it was just called Desperate Writers of Port Alberni, yes.
And what did it consist of? Were these essays or short stories?
There were some essays, most short stories, quite a few poems, yes.
Excellent. How was it received?
Went very well. It sold out very quickly.
And you know, I think folks out there are always surprised at how large the arts community is in this town. It doesn't just consist of musicians or visual artists. It consists of writers as well. There's quite a few writers.
Quite a few writers in Port Alberni, yes.
Yeah. It's becoming more of an arts community, isn't it?
Yes, definitely.
Excellent. Now, Desperate Writers, you said, sold quite well. So you
It did, the first book. And people have been asking us, aren't you going to do another one ever since?
Excellent. So now, Margaret, you're teasing what's coming up next in the next interview because there's a lot more to talk about with these desperate writers. But first off, we're going back to Go Island, where Jose Araujo is going to bring us up to date on all the arts and entertainments in the Valley this week. Well, welcome back. You are still watching Go Island. We are still talking about the desperate writers of Port Alberni who have written again and published another book. And I'm here with another one of the desperates, Deb Oakes. Deb, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great, thanks, despite the snow.
Despite the snow, that's right. We are out here on a snowy day. Now, Margaret was telling us about your first publication, Desperate Writers. Why did you decide to do it again?
It was so much fun the first time. We just were so desperate to get our stories out there again, and we did it again.
Excellent. And you say you did it again. It's once again called Desperate Writers of Port Alberni. Mm-hmm. So many artists, when they're preparing for something like this, don't find it fun at all. What's different about you ladies?
We like the challenge, I think, yeah. And getting our work out there, spreading it out, giving it to people to read.
Excellent.
And enjoy.
And what is in this book? Is this again essays or short stories?
Short stories and poems.
Excellent.
Yes, and the marshmallow story isn't real.
So that's a warning and that's a tease. If you buy the book and you read the marshmallow story, it's not a true story.
No, not at all.
So many people would purchase the book just because it's local authors, but I'm guessing there would be a specific target audience that you ladies think would particularly enjoy this.
Yes, anyone who wants to read to another person or someone who doesn't have time to read too often. It's like a blog in a book. Yeah. It's short, quick, easy reads. You can read one story, fall asleep, or read a couple of poems, have a cup of tea. Yeah, it's quick.
And I think the short story is finally gaining, I don't know, it's back up on the ladder where it belongs because of course, Alice Munro.
I think so, yes, yeah.
Thanks, Alice. Thanks, Alice, because for years, short stories weren't viewed the same way as novels were, and there's some fine literature written in the short story format.
That's true, yeah. There's many an author out there, or compilation of short stories, yeah.
Excellent. And many an author here in Port Alberni, as these lovely ladies have been telling us about. Thank you so much, Debs. We're going to talk a little bit more about this in just a minute because you're going to want to know where you can buy this book. I'll bet you the Desperates would even sign it for you. But first, since this is Go Island, we're going to go back to a couple of stories. Well, hello again. You are still watching Go Island. We are still talking to the desperate writers who have written again, releasing a second compilation of short stories and poems. And I've got another one of these lovely writers, Julia Turner, with me. Julia, this is so exciting.
Well, it's exciting for us because we have been so greatly encouraged by the response of our first book and asked so many times, when is the next one coming? And so it was Deb, the girl you just interviewed, who put all her energies and efforts into creating this for us. And we're doing our best to support her, of course. But I think it's going to be a wonderful read.
Well, you've done a good job of putting it together. Beautiful title, beautiful cover art on it.
Yeah.
And, you know, we were saying a little bit before the camera went on, for an artist, the work isn't complete until it's
No.
shared.
The cover was developed by Margaret's son, Julian Grocott, who
He did a beautiful job.
donated his artwork
Did
to
he
us.
really?
Yes.
Wow. Now, we've been talking a lot about this book, about both books, about the writers, but you're about to launch this, aren't you? So this is an opportunity for folks not just to congratulate you a little bit, but to come in and celebrate with you, buy a copy of the book, and I bet you ladies would sign it.
Oh, we'd love to see people come to our launch. It's on Saturday, this coming Saturday, Saturday the 22nd, and it's here at the Roland Art Centre. And even if you can't make it, please come back later to the centre and purchase a copy here or at the Bluefish Gallery and a few other places around town. And we'll be all here on Saturday, except for the one member whom you can't interview right now, who's having a spell in hospital, and we hope will join us very soon again at our meetings. And so 3 of us will be here, and we'd be happy to sign copies. And we will have refreshments, and we'll be thrilled to talk to anyone who comes in.
Excellent. And so it's right here at the Roland Art Centre on the 22nd. What time?
From 1 to 3.
From 1 to 3. If you're desperate for something to read, stop by at the launch for Desperate Writers. Write Again. Great little book, great gift, and a good way to celebrate Port Alberni's growing art community and the writers in this community. Thank you so much, Julia,
Thank
for
you,
telling me
Nancy.
about it.
Thank you.
Now, we are almost at the end of Go Island, but before we leave, Jose Arujo is going to try to win one more round of rock, paper, scissors. Well, Ann Giesbers couldn't be with us today, which is unfortunate because there were 4 desperate writers, 4 lovely ladies who contributed to this new book, Desperate Writers Write Again. We are at the end of Go Island. I'm decked out in my Canadian colors because I'm supporting our team during the Olympics. Until we meet again, be good to each other.
Aaron Visiev Financial's Go Island was brought to you by Aaron Visiev Financial, supporting community and providing personalized advice and services to clients since 1996.